My God, y'all, it looks like we're back at it again, researching and looking into things with Diddy, as he is now in another legal battle. What's really interesting here on the front page is that his own son is also listed. After a string of lawsuits from former associates and employees, Sean Diddy Combs is facing yet another legal battle as a former male employee has filed a fifth sexual assault suit against the mogul. Producer Rodney Little Rod Jones filed a lawsuit against Combs in the Southern District of New York on Monday, alleging that Combs made unwanted sexual advances and forced him to hire sex workers and engage in relations with them. Jones is seeking $30 million in the case, which lists several other parties he claims did not adequately monitor, warn, or supervise Combs' actions. In his filing, Jones names Combs' son Justin, his chief of staff Christina Karam, Universal Music Group CEO Lucien Grange, former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia, I don't know how to say the last name, it is rumored that is The Weeknd's cousin, and numerous record labels, and Jane and John does. He refers to all parties as RICO Enterprise, suggesting they collectively violated the Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act. In the suit obtained by Variety, Jones, who produced 6 songs on the rapper's Grammy-nominated The Love album Off the Grid that released in September 2023, outlines an extensive list of accusations. He claims that Combs acquired, used, and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, and other illicit drugs, displaying illegal firearms, and lacing alcoholic beverages provided to minors and sex workers at his various homes, among other allegations. The suit also redacts the names of a rapper and an R&B singer who consorted with underage girls and sex workers. Jones claimed that he lived with Combs from September 2022 through November 2023 and was repeatedly a victim of sexual harassment from Combs and subjected to unwanted advances by associates of Diddy at his direction. In the suit, Jones says that he resided with Combs at several of his residences in New York, Los Angeles, Florida, and rented a yacht in the U.S. Virgin Islands. During his time with Combs, Jones says he recorded hours of audio and video footage of him and his staff engaging in seriously illegal activity. He states that he was subject to constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus.
Oh my God.
And was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as the mogul showered nude. He says he raised the issues with Karam, to which she responded, "You know Sean will be Sean, and that is the way of showing that he likes you."
Huh?
Oh my God, what the hell? Excuse me, Your Honor. Just a quick message. If you love this channel and want to see it expand more, and you are able and willing, please feel free to make a donation towards more content, studio supplies, and even gas and fuel costs for road trips and planned adventures that I would love to show you and bring you along for the ride. I know money is tight and difficult for many. Oh, trust me, I get it. So please don't feel that you must if you can't. A simple thumbs up and or comment on this video helps a lot in itself and is always much appreciated. Thank you for your continued support, and back to the video. Among the claims in the suit, Jones states that he believes Combs drugged him on February 2nd, 2023, and that he woke up naked in bed with Combs and 2 sex workers. He alleges that Diddy was grooming him for sex and encouraged him to recruit prostitutes by asking him to wear a bad boy baseball cap at a Miami establishment to signal to any sex worker he approached that Combs was trying to solicit them. Elsewhere, Jones says that Combs flaunted guns and spoke of getting away with shooting people, divulging that Combs said he was responsible for shooting at a New York City nightclub in 1999 with rapper Shine. Combs was acquitted of a gun possession and bribery charges, while Shine was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Jones also states that an altercation between Combs and his son Justin at a Los Angeles recording studio led to one man getting shot in the stomach. Combs allegedly told Jones to lie to the police and instead say that the man was hit in a drive-by shooting. Jones does name other celebrities in the suit, recalling that Combs forced him to watch a video of a musician, Stevie J, engaging in sex with another man. Screenshots of the video are included in the lawsuit. He further alleges that Combs introduced him to an actor, Cuba Gooding Jr., on his yacht, and that Gooding physically groped and fondled him. Jones also names City Girl's Young Miami Combs' on and off girlfriend, claiming Combs instructed Miami's cousin to sexually assault him. Combs' lawyer, Sean Hawley, shared a statement with Variety refuting Jones's claims. Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 billion lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday, she said. His recklessness, name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply do not happen, is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Representatives and legal counsel for Jones and Gooding did not immediately respond to Variety's request for comment. Combs has been a target of numerous sexual assaults suits since his former girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, filed against him in November. A week later, 2 other lawsuits were filed against Combs, alleging revenge porn and assault. And in December, a woman filed a suit alleging Combs raped her in 2003. Combs made a public statement that month, writing on social media that enough is enough and that he did not do any of the awful things being alleged. You guys, this is a lot to take in. And if it's true, oh my lord. This is apparently a snippet picture of evidence of a video that is in there. Now, there's more than just this one article. And like I showed you little pictures, I do have some of the documents. Nothing has come of the allegations related to Sean Diddy Combs and Bishop T.D. Jakes, but a former employee of the music mogul has filed a lawsuit alleging improper behavior. Page 6 is reporting that TMZ obtained a court document on Monday where Rodney Jones, a former producer and videographer for Diddy, claimed that when he worked for Combs repeatedly, he was assaulted by him and groped his backside and his private parts. Jones also said he was subject to unwanted advances from Diddy's associates. NBC says Jones was a producer on Sean Combs' latest album, the one we were saying before, and that there were 4 additional lawsuits against Diddy in inappropriate behavior. The New York Times also reported on this. Sean Combs accused of sexual misconduct by music producer. According to the suit, Mr. Combs also forced Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. To induce him, Mr. Jones says Mr. Combs offered him money and also threatened him with violence. The 73-page lawsuit is filed and filled with graphic details and photographs and addition to Mr. Combs' names, defendants, the Universal Music Group, the giant music company that Mr. Combs briefly partnered with before releasing the Love album, as well as some of its top executives. The lawsuit said Mr. Combs maintained control over Mr. Jones by dangling promises of accolades and access to high-level record executives. A representative of Universal Music did not immediately have a comment. In his suit, Mr. Jones says he was not properly paid for his work as a producer on the Love album, and earlier this month he began crowdfunding campaign online with a statement reading, "Help me sue Sean Diddy Combs." As of Monday, it had raised less than $1,500 of a stated goal of $50,000. The suit by Mr. Jones is the latest in the series of explosive allegations against Mr. Combs, one of the primarily figures who transformed hip-hop into a major global pop movement in the 1990s, working with stars like Mary J. Blige and the Notorious B.I.G. Here is a page from the documents, and there's a photograph of Mr. Combs and Cuba Gooding Jr., and this is moments allegedly before Mr. Jones was assaulted. It does say under the photo for number 112, as evidenced by video, of which screenshots are embedded below, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thighs, near his groin, the small of his back, near his buttocks, and his shoulders. It then says Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. The following is a screenshot of the encounter with Cuba Gooding Jr. Damn, he's taking everybody down. Hollywood, music industry, movie industry. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was under an implied work-for-hire agreement. He was not compensated for his time living with Mr. Combs or for the songs he produced. As evidence, he was listed as producer for the following songs on the Love album's final release, and then there's some of the song titles listed. Here they go into just more details regarding the money and compensation. Here is a small excerpt from the papers. Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex. Mr. Combs was aware that Mr. Jones looked up to and idolized producer Stephen Aaron Jordan, Stevie J. Stevie J is an American DJ, recording producer, and television personality. Stevie J was part of the Bad Boy Records production team, which was called The Hitmen. In 1997, Stevie J won a Grammy Award for his work on Puff Daddy's debut album, and throughout the late 90s, Stevie J produced for several artists, including Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, the Notorious B.I.G., 112, Josie, Faith Evans, Jay-Z, and Eve. Stevie J was one of the producers on the most recent album that Diddy released, Love album. When discussing the allegations between Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs, it says throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. These events took place in LA, New York, Florida, and United States Virgin Islands. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching, Mr. Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom, and Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in the clear enclosure. So we already had read that and discussed that. I mean, I understand working for somebody like a hip-hop mogul like him. It can be very hard to go against the wind and grain with him, standing up for yourself. But I don't know, man. When you're grown, you're grown. And when you know something's wrong, you know something's wrong. And if I was told to do my work in the bathroom, I mean, one, we better be extremely fucking close of best friends. Where, you know, you're reading out documents and you're comfortable with it. And I'm just like, yep, that one works. If not, I don't want you in my bathroom. And two, if I was in his shoes, I don't want to see you naked. Come on. In a way, it's a power play. Diddy is, you know, probably doing what he usually does. Because he feels good about himself. He's number one. He's the guy with the money and the fame and the control. So when he did this, he probably was testing him at first to see, you know, how far he can push it. If this guy is going to be against it, or if this guy's going to speak up, or if this guy's going to just follow in line. But let me make it clear, if you ever have a job, I don't care who it is for. It could be for your idol. If they ask you to do your work while they're in the shower, in the bathroom with them, and you could see them naked and they could see you, something's wrong here. So I'm going to jump around a little bit, but we had talked about the initials KK, this person earlier, that they were aware of this situation and they kind of just brushed it off, saying Sean will be Sean, you know, this is how he shows that he likes you. So also listed in the document, it says KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones' privates as friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. What is this, fucking kindergarten? Despite these assurances on several occasions, Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around the house naked. KK would say, okay, I'm leaving now, and she would disappear. KK hypocrisy is breathtaking at best, or enabling or at worst. Mr. Jones believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault of him and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him into accepting homosexual relationship between them.
Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
is it possible that she knew what was up and she was like, okay, I'm gonna disappear now? Like part of the game plan, like what's his name? Weinstein used to do with people? Or even EpiPen used to do with people, Ghislaine used to do with people. My God, this generation is starting to see that this age group is into some secretive, sick shit. Look, your sexual preference is whatever you like. You have your right to that. But don't you ever push that and force that on anybody else. It is wrong. And the people that do this have a problem with power, control. Either something happened to them in the past, or they've been doing this for many years and gotten away with it where they feel that they can continue to do it without a problem. It is not okay. Now, we ain't done here yet. There is still more to read and uncover. Please be advised this video is for entertainment or educational purposes. It also contains opinions and speculations regarding topics that have been discussed in media and print. Please always do your own research to make and come to your own conclusions. Now let's get back to the video. Now jumping back in it, case 1-24-CV-01457, document 1, which was filed on the 26th, page 20 of 73. Mr. Combs and Jay Combs, which is his son, solicits drugs and engages in illicit sex acts with minors and sex workers. Dear Lord. So now his son is involved. On or about July 2nd, 2023 in California, Mr. Combs had a listening party, which is in quotes, at his home. Does that mean it was a freak off? 99 present at this party was R&B artist, which was redacted, Jay Combs, sex workers, and some underage girls. Y'all, this is 2023. This is not long ago. This is not undated shit. So, this is pretty recent and relevant. The event begins at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested female sex workers and required Mr. Jones to solicit them. An hour later, several sex workers appeared. Okay, look. I don't know about you, but if I worked for a celebrity and they were like, oh, I need you to get me some sex workers, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't want to fucking mess with that shit. I would be like, if I work for the label or something, I'd be like, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this shiesty ass shit. If you want to satisfy your artist, you could hire someone just for that shit. I ain't doing it. That's not my job. But I understand when you're in that situation, it's very hard to say no to someone with money and power like that. It's a scary, scary thing. And the only way to battle this is to pretty much do what we're doing here, discussing it, exploiting it, and exposing those that are just absolutely disgusting human beings. Moving on to 101. In addition to sex workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd that were under the age of 16. Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink laced de Leon liqueur, which is one of his. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. What a fucking bastard. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but I never liked P. Diddy. Or whatever the fuck he is. Brother love. Ooh, I'm getting a little mad. He's doing this to all sorts of people. All ages. Just disgusting. And his son is involved. His son is now following in his footsteps. My God. My God. Woo! Okay. Alright. Anyways. Mr. Combs did not check the identification of any of these underage girls. I'm sure he didn't. He doesn't care. The presence of these underage women made Mr. Jones very uncomfortable. He attempted to leave, and Mr. Combs forced him to stay. Mr. Combs went so far to take Mr. Jones's car keys to prevent him from leaving. That's okay. That's, if you want to get technical, he took something that's his property from him and was kind of in a forceful way. He had no way to escape. After being forced to drink laced De Leon shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning. The following morning, naked. Oh my God. Let me reread that. After being forced to drink laced De Leon shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and waking up at 4 in the morning, naked. Oh my God, with a sex worker sleeping next to him. I don't know about you guys, but to me it sounds like he purposely sets people up. So they wake up and they're like, oh shit, I can never talk about this because then this shit's gonna come out about me. Blackmail. The last excerpt I want to show you guys, it says, it's about Muhammad. Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad if they are ever pulled over by police in Miami or California. Oh, so that's his connect. Upon information and belief, Mr. Muhammad spoke with LAPD after G was shot at CRS. The LAPD was in CRS and witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the bogus claim that the shooting of G occurred outside the studio. This was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connections with law enforcement. Ooh, shit. Mr. Jones had no reason to disbelieve Mr. Combs, as he had seen firsthand through the shooting of G and the subsequent silence of the LAPD and the media that Mr. Combs indeed had the power to harm him. Yep. Oh yeah. The LAPD spent hours in CRS after the shooting of G, yet there was no arrests. Mr. Jones witnessed the LAPD in the restroom, pictured above, yet no arrests were made. See, he's got pictures, he's got receipts, bro. The morning after the shooting, Mr. Jones and several others arrived at CRS, and G's blood was still on the floor of the restroom, and Mr. Combs hired a cleaning crew to clean it up. Oh, God. You guys, he is a dangerous man. Whether he is doing it with his own hands or not, he's got a dangerous mindset. And it's got to be stopped. And what's really disgusting is the people that built this man up, including Clive fucking Davis. You have blood on your hands too with this. You've been supporting and giving money and God knows what else, supplying this type of lifestyle and power to someone like this. It's gotta stop. It's disgusting, repulsive, inhumane, just horrible. And Diddy, you wanna call yourself Brother Love? Get the fuck out of here. I do apologize. I did get a little frustrated in this stream, but it needed to be said. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think that there's gonna be a stop to this? Do you think he's gonna lose everything? Or do you think he's gonna get away with everything? I'm Leenda, and that's For the Record, Your Honor.